now, a heated debate's going on inside Longmont City Hall about an unusual tactic to stop oil and gas drilling in the city.
They want to pay developers to leave town and never drill again in their city. Denver 7's Jason Grenauer is live outside that meeting tonight. Jason, you just got some new information in the last couple of minutes.
Just within the last few minutes, a few people exiting tonight's meeting after the public comment period telling me that the council had voted to remove this agreement off of tonight's consent agenda, meaning the first time it was read, they would have to vote to approve it. These folks, who many of which came out against it, telling me late tonight that it will not be voted on, it will not be moved forward. At least the best that we can gather at this point is everything's kind of taking a bit of a timeout. Now, this was a bold approach to begin with here in Longmont, basically paying two oil and gas companies to leave its city limits. It would require those two companies to plug and abandon current wells, give up all current and future permits, and not drill within Longmont any time into the future. But in exchange, the city would have had to pay out $3 million in future mineral rights royalties to those oil and gas companies, and would still allow for horizontal drilling that would take place outside of the city limits, but would end up going under Longmont open spaces in the Union Reservoir. Most of the people who came out tonight and spoke during a public comment period were against this idea overall.
That $3 million, are you guys going to bribe the oil and gas, or are we going to use it to do our own studies?
Is the citizens of Longmont did not agree to purchase open space for oil and gas drilling.
So where is the transparency in these negotiations? You know what I mean? Why are we being brought in after the fact?
And most of the people that spoke demanded a public forum because most of the discussions about this agreement were done behind closed doors as the city council was in executive session. Now, if they would have voted to approve this, it would have still had to pass a second reading and pass additional hurdles, which would have included more public comment. However, if it's put on the side burner and more needs to be done, it would then have to go through this process again. So as it sits right now, things are at the status quo here in Longmont as far as the future of oil and gas is not being entirely kicked out. What comes next? We'll have to wait and see. Reporting live tonight in Longmont, I'm Jason Grenauer, Denver 7.